Good evening once again and welcome to UBC News tonight at 10 p.m. My name is Sharon Chomdishe. Let's take a look at what has made the news today. As investors of ready market in Uganda. First Lady rallies education partners towards motivating teachers. And JBC, of course, to receive 30 billion Ugandan shillings annually with effect from next financial year. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV, and my name is Sharon Chomdishe once again. And in our top stories of the day, President Yoweri Museveni has today met a group of investors from Strand Hanson Limited, a London-based company at State House in Entebbe. During the meeting, the president accepted their proposal of mining lithium in Tungamo district that shall be used to locally manufacture electric car batteries. He went ahead to inform the investors that Uganda is currently making electric vehicles but still importing batteries, citing that this is causing unnecessary additional costs for the country. He also assured them of a ready market for the lithium batteries, and the president assured the investors that the mining license shall be processed for them as soon as possible so that the mining process of lithium can commence. Through a partnership with a locally based versatile mining and laboratories company, the investors will mine lithium and manufacture the electric batteries. Mr. Johnny Kalk, representative of Hanson Limited, told the president that the mining site has already been identified in Tungamo district and it is only the mining license remaining to kick off the project. First Lady, also Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataha Museveni, has urged stakeholders in the education sector to join hands in motivating and honoring exceptional work of teachers. The minister was officiating at the 2023 Teachers Making a Difference Awards initiative organized by the Vision Group, and she says this kind of initiative attracts people towards teaching as a profession.
And Sister Gladys decided
honoring and awarding teachers is expected to enhance teachers' patriotism and attracts young people to embrace the teaching profession. The Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataha Museveni, has rallied partners in the education sector towards appreciating work of teachers. She was officiating at the 2023 Teachers Making a Difference Awards organized by Vision Group.
By publishing the works of these teachers, this initiative also gives educators a platform to exchange innovative teaching techniques and strategies with one another, thus fostering a culture that promotes collaboration and ongoing learning.
6 teachers have been awarded with prizes and also a trip to Ireland for exposure to the different teaching mechanisms. The initiative is supported by Ireland government and Travel Care, and the Ministry of Education and Sports committed to support most 6 runners-up to the trip.
Teachers demonstrate excellence in their work and went the extra mile. The top 6 from this group will join the next study group to Ireland, together with the top 6 that we recognised in 2022 during last year's National Teachers' Day celebration, to support their professional development.
Vision Group has unveiled another product of Vision Teen Magazine to guide young people on handling dynamic technological environment.
However, there's growing concern about the unregulated information that the youth pick from the social media. Moral degeneration of teens has been partly attributed to this. At various occasions, social psychologists have called for innovations to be able to address this challenge. With this product, the Vision Group is responding to this call by creating a platform for the youth to engage constructively.
Minister Janet Museveni applauds Vision Group for innovations intending to counter moral decay in society.
I therefore charge the Vision Group to create a safe environment for young people to interact with each other with appropriate content and guidance from adults and experts. I'm informed that the teens' vision will cover some of the important issues that impact the youth, such as teenage identity, sexuality, building meaningful relationships, and youth entrepreneurship, among others. This information is critical because social media, with its unanchored discussions, can easily influence the young people into unethical behavior.
The Teachers Making a Difference Awards initiative is a form of developmental journalism, of profiling teachers with unique features while serving. It aims at appreciating their role and motivating others towards the professional. Abdul Nasir Lubwama,
thank you for honoring
for
our
UBC.
invitation, and we thank you for the good work.
Government has affirmed commitment towards continuous financial support towards Uganda's national public broadcaster, UBC. Minister for Information, Communications, Technology and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Bodiomonsi, reveals a presidential commitment that will see 30 billion Ugandan shillings allocated to UBC starting the next financial year. This, he said, during a meeting with the UBC Board of Directors, where he expressed optimism in the just approved 24 billion shillings supplementary budget for the Broadcast Corporation.
That government is committed to financially supporting the national broadcaster is no longer a question of when and how. This is because all the questions have been answered in this well-put assurance.
The president has also even guided that we work around the clock to turn UBC into an international station to the level of Al Jazeera, BBC, CNN, so that it becomes not only a local station here in Uganda, but we raise it to a level of international standards.
The commitment includes both the 24 billion shillings supplementary allocation recently passed by Parliament and the proposed annual funding of 30 billion Uganda shillings.
We have the commitment from the level of the president to see to it that funding for UBC continues to improve. That's why in the most recent communication from HE, the president, he did direct that the government, through the normal budgeting process, should provide at least 30 billion shillings to UBC, starting with the financial year which we have now started the budgeting for.
This downplays the initial idea of all advertising revenue going through UBC, a decision revisited by stakeholders in mid-2023.
We agreed that his earlier position can be stayed so that the advertisement can also be done through the other private media, but then we all arrived at a commitment that we fund UBC satisfactorily. So it was a win-win position. So UBC never lost because we agreed with the president that the government should satisfactorily fund UBC. And that's why you see like that supplementary of 24 billion coming.
The newly approved funding for UBC is a ray of hope and an operations booster for the national broadcaster.
As you might all know, we have international conferences coming up. Non-aligned movement, NAM, we have the G77 plus China. We want to make sure that we have the right equipment and we have the right infrastructure, from the satellite fees that we have to pay and all the technical equipment that we need on all our 18 DTT sites. We are going to make sure they are upgraded, up and ready to make sure that all the free-to-air channels are up and running. So it's development, and it's only development that we are looking at for the supplementary budget.
One of the main challenges of Uganda Broadcasting Corporation has been inadequate funding. With this permanently resolved, the journey for UBC progress remains on course. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Now, more than 20 lives were tragically lost, with many others rushed to Gwatiro Hospital for treatment following a horrific accident on the Northern Highway. The incident occurred when a box body vehicle with number plate UBD 520H traveling from Chaliwajala Northern Bypass collided with 10 other vehicles. Witnesses on the scene attributed the accident to the box body driver, who was reportedly driving at a high speed. A box-bodied vehicle bearing plate number UBD 520H collided with and crashed into more than 10 other vehicles, resulting in the loss of over 20 lives and leaving several others injured. The injured individuals were swiftly transported to Gwatiro Hospital for medical attention. According to eyewitnesses, the primary cause of the accident was the high-speed driving of the box-body vehicle, and the victims, including graduating students from Chambogo University who were returning from the graduation ceremony accompanied by their parents. Daniel Cyrus, Senior Communications Officer in Igaga and the father of the graduates, shared that they were 5 individuals in their car. He provided updates on the latest developments. The vehicles involved in the accident comprised of vans, taxis, and others. Very tragic news indeed. May the Lord strengthen the families of the deceased, and quick recovery to all those that were injured. In more stories, former Kawempe North Member of Parliament and former parliamentary Imam Latif Sebagala announced on Friday that Muslims will pray in Kololo in an effort to rescue Muslim properties that is being taken away by court bailiffs. Jamil Sekaja has a detailed report on this story.
The Supreme Court recently granted the bailiffs permission to continue with their plans to seize Muslim properties as of today, with 16 days to take action if no intervention occurs. This caught the attention of Muslims, and many have come forward on the issue. Former Kawempe North MP and the former Imam of Parliament, Latif Sebagala, urged the Muslims on Friday to unite on the issue, stating that he has already written to all concerned parties to arrange a resolution.
We have requested IGP, who have informed him about this function. We have requested Minister of Defense to allow us to use that facility as Ugandans. And we are going to be very, very peaceful. We are appealing to all those who are concerned about the sale of Muslim properties to come in big numbers, so that we can, as together, decide ways and means of how to save those properties that are going to be auctioned on 24th of December, 19th of December, 2023.
He emphasized that they cannot stand idly by while Muslim properties are being destroyed, especially when those responsible are known.
Mobilize ourselves as Muslims after selling the properties of those who are behind the sale of Muslim property. And when we feel that we have sold their properties and we have mobilized as Ugandans here, Muslims here in Uganda and abroad, and even those who are with good heart, then we can approach the office of the president that we are ready with this balance. Then he can come in, because we are also taxpayers. But
Latif urged the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to arrest those responsible before providing assistance to the Muslims.
Appealing to His Excellency the President, don't be deceived by any other person under the guise that the president is going to come in to save and bail out the sale of Muslim property by paying justice the 20 billion he is demanding. This is taxpayers' money. The people who are responsible are there. We want all those who are responsible to face the court of law, and their properties must be auctioned so that we can get out resources to pay justice, because justice bought the land genuinely from Uganda Muslim Supreme Council.
Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Ramadhan Mubajje, recently assured the Muslims that their properties will not be taken away. Robert Katamba, Jamil Sekaja.
Now, the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, has held a 5-hour in-camera meeting with the Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mobaje at Old Kampala. The minister pledged to assist the Mufti after he voiced concerns about the judiciary's handling of the case between the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council and Justice Chabahwa regarding the Sembabule land dispute.
Minister Norbert Mao conducted a 5-hour meeting with the Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mobaje, along with officials from the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. The closed-door meeting lasted for 5 hours, after which the minister was given a tour of the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council premises. Norbert Mao urged Muslims to foster unity and encouraged them to embrace government programs.
There are many people who try to fight him. In Luganda it is called okulengeza, just because you are humble. But I think his actions speak, and you can see what he has achieved. So my call for unity is largely to the young people, really, to the youth, because one day there will be another mufti here, there will be other imams, there will be other sheikhs. So these conflicts have got to be resolved so that they are not passed on to the next generation.
Norbert Mao's visit comes at a time when the Muslim community is facing scrutiny over the alleged sale of Sembabule land and the auctioning of Muslim properties.
That agreement, someone tells you that it was drafted by Supreme Council. Uganda, it was never drafted by Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. Because you and me, we know there is no legal department at Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. There was no lawyer of Uganda Muslim Supreme Council that was involved. There were two principals and the executive which passed the resolution. But the one who drafted it was smart enough to understand the control proprietary rule. That this agreement contains a number of things that are very pathetic. So what do? Say, drawn by Uganda Muslim Supreme Council.
Mao attributed the purported discord among Muslims.
People want you to succeed, but they don't want you to succeed more than them. They want you to succeed up to a certain point. So I think naturally there could be leadership wrangles. People want to be leaders. But the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council has a constitution, and we must follow the law, just like you follow the law of gravity.
So all of us belong to different groups, but we must know that our umbrella organization is Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. None of those individuals who are in charge have a superior claim.
Norbert Mao's visit appears timely as Muslims prepare for their Juma prayers tomorrow, Friday, at Kololo Airstrip grounds to strategize on rescuing auctioned properties, including the National Mosque. Sudat Kaye and Jamil Sekaja, UBC News.
Uganda Alcohol Industry Association has met with the executive on matters concerning the recently reintroduced Alcoholic Drinks Control Bill that seeks to regulate the manufacture, importation, sale and consumption of alcohol in the country. The bill also includes a restriction on business hours for the dealers in alcohol. Take a look.
On the 14th of November 2023, Tororo District Member of Parliament Sarah Opendi reintroduced the Alcoholic Drinks Control Bill. In the face of the proposed legislation, members of the Uganda Alcohol Industry Association have sought audience with the executive on the matter.
Looking at restrictions in hours of sale, that we're supposed to start selling alcohol from 5 to 10 p.m. on weekdays, and then on weekends we should be selling from midday to midnight. And yet, Honorable Ministers, the night economy starts at 10 p.m. And so, thereabout. it's basically it's basically because people are coming from work. By the time they maneuver the traffic jam and all that, the bars will be closed. So that means we will not sell. That means the manufacturers will literally close.
They warn that if the law is passed as is, the consequences will be dire not only to the sector players, but the economy at large.
Once you touch on the highest taxpayer, what happens? There is a whole value chain that is going to get problems. From the artist, me, I'm an artist, I've been a brand ambassador of drinks, where some of the artists don't drink, but they are brand ambassadors because that is how they earn. Now, when the value chain is cut in bits, that artist is not going to earn.
Three things are needed. There is need for deeper studies. Maybe our own arguments are not solid enough. Maybe the Honorable Pende's arguments are not solid enough. There needs to be other independent studies to verify the implications of the law the way it's proposed. So we need studies, we need awareness, and above all, you need education.
The consultative meeting at the Ministry of Finance was co-chaired by Evelyn Anite, the State Minister for Investment, and David Bahati, the State Minister for Industry.
This issue of alcohol has got both economic, social, and health impact to our society. So we're going to have to look at them and dissect and see how we can strike a balance. From the economic perspective, we want to say that we attracted you in this country and licensed you, and therefore we will have to work with you to see how it doesn't impact on the health of the citizens.
Would you want the bars to be open 24 hours and 7 days, or would you have some minimum restriction to allow also work? Because what we are seeing around the country, there is some concern of members of parliament and all of us that we are starting to go to the bars very early. You find some people going to the bars at 7 a.m. and then there is a lot of work to be done.
Recent statistics show that members of the Uganda alcohol industry contribute about 35% of the national tax base, a contribution that cannot be taken for granted, says the State Minister for Investment. The association members are requesting for the legislators to critically analyze the potential ramifications of the bill before going ahead with the process of enactment. Mariona Wori and Winnie Katwire for UBC.
Now, the MK Movement mobilization team, led by the Vice Chairperson for Western Uganda, Balambarukahara, has this Thursday afternoon visited King Oil Motor Farm Bugachi initiative in Fort Portal with an aim of benchmarking from the King, whose initiative has not only attracted many youth to join the agricultural sector, but also given hope that there's future in farming. Balamantima are in Tororo sub-region for the team building activities happening this Friday on the 8th of December 2023. Onyango reports.
A section of MK Movement team led by the Vice Chairperson for Western Uganda, Balambarukahara, is in Tororo sub-region to witness the climax of the team building activities. Prior to the main events of the 8th December 2023, the team has visited the King Oyo Model Demonstration Farm in Fort Portal City.
These are some of the leaders who are going to be trained on how to train others on modern farming methods and cattle keeping and all the other aspects on this farm.
The team was mainly to benchmark about the different agricultural enterprises conducted at the farm.
Baza kusima King Oyo ikidi wakana habwa farm yenu yakozire nungi.
Moses K. Atwoke is the chief instructor at this farm.
We start milking. Each compartment is one cow. It's one cow. So we milk from here. This is the milking para. We apply what we call the milking salve on the teeth, such that we reduce on the friction of the teeth.
The farm is hosting a section of agricultural enterprises ranging from farming, piggery, poultry, among others.
I would like to first of all thank His Majesty Karabasaija Oyonyimba Kawamba Iguru IV for this great model farm initiative. He started different projects on 160 acres, but he has made each project occupy just an acre.
Baram and the team was impressed by what is so far been achieved by this farm in as far as uplifting the awareness of agriculture, especially to the youth in the area.
So we don't take this opportunity lightly. Thank you, the King, for this initiative, and thank you, General Moz, for loving young people.
Judith Mukedi is among the MK movement local team leaders who visited the farm.
Kusima Okama Watoro, Kusima Chairman Organizing Committee, Honorable Basaliza, abategekere kurorangu ensinganto, nemyenda yona bijahan kusoma.
This team will be witnessing the climax of the MK movement team building activities for Toro Sub-Region on 8th December 2023 in Fort Portal City.
We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with more stories.
Meet Brian Namanya, a visionary and a game changer whose team at Tuwayo is breathing new life into domestic tourism by curating exciting yet affordable experiences for Ugandans and foreigners to enjoy. With the help of technology, Brian is showing us all the immense potential out there. Those who know Brian know him as a serial entrepreneur who's always been challenging the status quo and won't stop now. Brian, we're in your corner. You are unstoppable. MTN, the Unstoppable Network, celebrates you. Visit www.tuwayo.com and together, let's support Ugandans like Brian, who are driving our country's unstoppable progress.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
Oyagaliza famire yo obugagga n'obulamu obulungi yiga bw'oyinza okubifuna ng'okozesa science ne teknologiya ng'oyita mu butonde. Omukenkufu Nyanzi Julius ekyuma kiwagala kyuma akuwandiikidde ekitabo ky'otasaanye kusubwa kusoma. Ekitabo kino akituumye Money Grows on Trees, sente zimera ku miti. Weefunire kopi ku $2 gyokka ku kitebe kya Prof Bio Research ku Katorio Mall, ku matabi g'amatundiro g'ebitabo aga Aristoc Booklex, ku Acacia Mall, Garden City, Kampala Road ne ku mitimbagano ja Jumia Uganda, oba kuba 0703 M52 M52 tukikutuuseeko wonna w'oli. Jjukira nti Money Grows on Trees, sente zimera ku miti.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. As we continue, Minister for Kampala and Metropolitan Hajat Misa Kabanda has cautioned school children against drug use, emphasizing that it will not contribute positively to their future. Minsa delivered this message at the closing ceremony of the Bagunguliro Students Camp at Chitebi Secondary School in Rubaga Division.
After 4 days of training for girls in various fields, including talent identification and religious education, with the aim of preventing dropouts, Minister for Kampala and Metropolitan Hajat Misa Kabanda officially closed the girls' session and opened the boys' session. Students initially showcased their talents, including fashion shows and Quran recitation. The top-performing students were presented with prizes by the minister.
Minister modeling. Minister, that's the creativity of the highest order.
Kabanda warned girls against drug use, emphasizing that it would unrain their future. She also urged the students to form friendships that support their goals and stay on track.
Look out for people who inspire you and distance yourselves from negativity. Once you have adopted this mindset change, will not only be our good smart city ambassadors, but you will have had a lifetime skill that will help you in your endeavors. There's nothing. Decision changes something, but determination changes all. If you are determined, you can get what you want.
She expressed gratitude to the leaders of the program, including Haji Kamulegia, highlighting it as a privilege to observe students' behavior. The team leader and the head of the program, Haji Muhammad Kamulegia, mentioned that the students were trained in various skills that would benefit them in the future.
The ladies you see here competed and demonstrated their highest degree of innovativeness and creativity in areas of mimes, singing, dancing, masters of ceremonies, Quran recitation, poems, speeches, and writing competitions, drama, modeling, and debating.
He also urged parents to safeguard their children and the values they have been taught, especially during the holidays.
Basobole okubeera nga bongeramu amaanyi, basobole okubeera nga twebuuzaganyako, basobole okubeera nga tusobola okujjamu omulamu. Abaana abo emyaka mwe bali emyaka egisinga okubeera emizibu ennyo egiteetaaga kuwummula, egiteetaaga kukola ki okusobola okutuukiriza ekyo kyolina okubeera nga ofuula.
The participants were later presented with certificates as a token of appreciation for their participation in the program. Robert Katamba, Jamilu Sekaja, UBC News.
In an effort to address the persistent issue of flooding around Gababonga, the Kampala Capital City Authority enforcement team conducted an operation to demarcate areas in the wetlands and drainage channels for demolition. The goal is to expand the Kasanga channel and alleviate flooding in the area.
KCCA received over 78 billion for road rehabilitation, aiming to tackle city flooding and prepare for the NAM summit. However, the ongoing works in the wetland have worsened flooding issues around Gababonga. To address this, the KCCA management is urging the public to vacate these and give way for the expansion of drainage channels.
People have encroached on the wetland. Others have built and blocked the drains, and worse still downstream, as we have seen, there are several structures that have come up despite the warnings that we have given as a city. Now, our plan and what we are going to do is to make sure the drainage is opened.
KCCA Communications Officer on NAM preparations, Muhumuza Daniel, emphasizes the need for immediate action and urges the public for patience.
Who is building on a drainage, who is encroaching on a wetland, that please stop it, because we are coming and we are going to clear it.
However, despite the call for patience, during the ongoing city rehabilitation, Yiga Gonzega, chairman of Kiwafu Zone B, points the Gaba spot flooding to the use of small culverts by KCCA. Muchibi Ismail, the field supervisor on the Kansanga channel, highlights the necessity of measurements from locals for channel expansion.
All the people along the channel, if you are within the corridor of 10 meters to 20 meters, leave the channel.
In response, locals insist that authorities should compensate them before vacating, or they vow not to leave.
Bweba ne batuita bapasa chiwewesi ne batuza mu meeting amanyanga gakomyewo otuzeko okulaba tugenda zuka nga batugamba nti ate tusenge guno omwala tegwaliwo omwala guno kufatwa esondanga sente ne tugutema nga tusonda buli omba mujja mutwalo.
The situation underscores the difficulties surrounding efforts to mitigate flooding in the area.
With the imperative to enhance the health sector, the Ministry of Health and USAID have convened with the Church of Uganda Health Department to explore ways of improving health services for Ugandans. The meeting, held at the provincial office at Namirembe Hill in Kampala, was attended by officers from the Health Department of the Church of Uganda, among others.
The key topics discussed during the engagement included HIV/AIDS, gender-based violence, cervical cancer, family planning, among other pertinent health issues. The provincial secretary, who also represented the Archbishop, Reverend Canon Captain William Ongeng, expressed the church's commitment to significantly boost the health sector through various initiatives.
So when we want to engage the community, we must know that we are engaging the aspect of God's being.
As Parliament awaits to debate and pass the Alcohol Drink Control Bill of 2023, Captain Ongeng shared his perspective on the matter.
It is very critical because out of that decision a person takes to drink and to whatever, it impacts on their lives. The health workers, you are here. You need to participate in that discussion so that you can give us what is the best time to drink beer.
Dina Kwasimira, the communication specialist on behavior change in the Ministry of Health, commended the Church of Uganda's efforts in boosting the health sector, however emphasized the need for efforts in combating HIV/AIDS and gender-based violence, and reviewed the ministry's commitment to collaborate more with other religious leaders in the campaign to curb HIV.
The ministry does not meet as many people as the church does. Imagine they meet them every Sunday. And all kinds of groups also committing to support. If they say we are going out to meet Fathers Union and we need materials and we need certain things to facilitate us, if we have those things, we shall be. As of Ministry of Health is also supposed to meet with the church leadership and also come up with strategies on how to help these specific groups of the church leaders who might not be free disclosing their status, yet they need counseling and guidance.
Luther Musekura, head of behavior activities at USAID, highlighted the reasons for engaging the church in enhancing the health sector and is optimistic that the collaboration is timely.
We've developed several campaigns across various health areas. So as opposed to say focus on this, we are working with them to show them what messages are available so that they can contextualize those messages within their settings.
Sabin Angar, coordinator of Health Department of the Church of Uganda, noted that the church operates over 200 health facilities across the country, contributing significantly to boosting the health sector, despite facing certain challenges.
Across the country, especially the hospitals, were built way back in colonial time. The number, the volume of patients who come, for example, in Imengo, are many as compared to the structure that we have. So we need support from partners who can help us.
Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Communities in the districts of Luo and Nakaseke, particularly those utilizing the Luo Choko Road, have expressed commendation for the ongoing construction works despite the rainy season. The road upgrade and tarmacking project, initiated by DOT Technical Services, was launched by the Prime Minister in June this year, representing the President, and is scheduled for completion by June 2025. Despite the rainy seasons affecting roads in various parts of the country, the Luo Choko Road construction remains unaffected. The Prime Minister Rob Nabanja launched the upgrade on June 9, 2023, and the ongoing construction by DOT Technical Services is on track for completion in 2025. Communities relying on the Luo Choko Road expressed gratitude for the government's commitment to constructing roads in the Greater Luo districts despite some delays. This sentiment was shared during the familiarization tour of the ongoing construction works by the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo. He was accompanied by ONC coordinator in Luo, Abdukarim Waswa, officials from the UNRA and DOT services. Minister Dr. Muyingo commended the Uganda National Roads Authority and the contractors for their ongoing efforts. He encouraged communities to utilize the newly constructed roads to enhance household income.
But it's very important as government works on the roads. It's important we, the people of Luo, have something to send to the market. This requires a lot of work on our farms, a lot of work on in our gardens, so that we have something to carry to the market that will enable us have money.
However, Dr. Muyingo appealed to road users to monitor and comply with contractors and participate in government projects. He emphasized the importance of holding contractors accountable for quality work and completing projects according to the contract. In a related context, Minister Dr. Muyingo advised prosperous individuals in cities and towns to prioritize the development of their ancestral areas in various sectors for social and economic growth. Dr. Muyingo visited various schools in Nakaseke district, including Faith Nursery and Primary School, where journalist Godfrey Chiinji contributed 5 million Ugandan shillings worth 100 iron sheets for roofing the classroom blocks. Fred Kasibante compiled this report. 67 government officials who work within the procurement systems were honored with certificates for successfully completing a year-long training in sustainable public procurement, SSP. The ceremony held today at Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development happened today.
This training initiative was facilitated by the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency and supported by the Swedish government, with a primary focus urging government officials to adopt climate-safe methods and approaches in their procurement processes.
Our appeal is that you cascade the skills gained to your institutions in the procurement function in order to have this capacity spread across all MDS in the country and be able to be part and parcel of the method of work in which we carry out the procurement function in government.
The importance of recognizing and appreciating the commitment of these officials was underscored.
This reminds us of that sustainable public procurement is an important instrument in achieving public policy goals. I am thus very pleased to note that the Ugandan public sector has shown considerable commitment to this program. We have learned that the Ministry of Finance quickly agreed to act as the lead partner from the time the program was introduced.
In a noteworthy development, the government announced its intention to integrate sustainable public procurement into the recently launched e-procurement system. This aims to streamline and modernize the procurement process, aligning it with global sustainability goals.
These people have been trained among others on the need for them to instill the aspect of sustainable procurement in the entire system of procurement in government. And that means by definition that they must work with the e-procurement module in order to instill that procurement module.
A comprehensive 5-year Sustainable Public Procurement Action Plan is set to be formulated. This plan will serve as a roadmap providing the necessary focus, direction, and purpose for the incorporation and implementation of the principles learned during the training. Wadulo McArnold, UBC News, at the Finance Ministry in Kampala.
Meet Brian Namanya, a visionary and a game changer whose team at Tuwayo is breathing new life into domestic tourism. By curating exciting yet affordable experiences for Ugandans and foreigners to enjoy, with the help of technology, Brian is showing us all the immense potential out there. Those who know Brian know him as a serial entrepreneur who's always been challenging the status quo and won't stop now. Brian, we're in your corner. You are unstoppable. MTN, the Unstoppable Network, celebrates you. Visit www.tuwayo.com and together, let's support Ugandans like Brian, who are driving our country's unstoppable progress.
Wait, Titus, you need to take your medicine.
But Mom, they are playing without me.
Here, swallow your medicine fast. I don't want you to get another headache from that infection.
Medicines help us feel better when we are ill, but sometimes they can cause side effects. By reporting side effects, you help us learn about the medicine we use. This improves quality of care for each patient. Always report suspected side effects to NDA. Together, we can make medicines safer for everyone. This message is brought to you by National Drug Authority with support from Global Fund.
Banyeta ko Muhangi Donata, the chairperson wa group. I
am the chairperson of this group that got money. The group is called Kalsandala HIV/AIDS Craftswomen Group. UWEP gave us money in 2017 and they gave us 3.3 million Ugandan shillings. We used it in 1 year and got 23 million out of it. We do baskets and kitchen gardens, and we also have a saving group. We thank UWEP because this money helped us as women. Women can now educate their children and build houses because many of them are single mothers. We work without jealousy because we want to leave a legacy that even those who will be around tomorrow will appreciate.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. And lastly, in our last segment, the sports story for today is that this morning, the men's and women's senior cricket teams were officially flagged off for their respective continental and global events. The Cricket Cranes, the men's team, will be participating in the Cricket African Cup in South Africa, while the Victoria Pearls, the women's team, will compete in the ICC Women's T20 World Cup Qualifier Africa in Uganda. Both teams are scheduled to play between the 9th and the 20th of December 2023.
The men's team, coming off a commendable performance in the T20 World Cup qualifiers Africa, will travel to South Africa on the 9th of December to participate in the second edition of the Africa Cricket Association Africa Cup tournament, where they currently hold the title of reigning champions.
We don't need any further motivation to go to South Africa and defend our title. We were very happy when we won it for the first time last year. And as a team, we want to be the first team to defend our title again. And it doesn't matter what tournament we're playing at or who we're playing against. Our mentality is to go out there and try and win every game that we play in. We try and play to our standards as a team, and that makes sure that we bring the same intensity and the same game plan against any opposition we play against. So
yes, of course there is some bit of pressure going out there and defending the trophy against the African teams that are playing good cricket right now. But it is basically positive pressure. We are coming from a very good tournament in Namibia, so the team is positive, and I know we are just going to go out there and do the simple things right and try to defend our title.
On the other hand, the women's team is set to compete in the ICC Women's T20 World Cup Qualifier Africa Final, which will be hosted in Entebbe, Uganda. The team aims to secure one of 2 slots available for the 2024 Dubai Global Qualifiers.
But I believe the girls are ready to execute. We have been well trained throughout for such a moment. We have tried our best to see that we work on that aspect. We've worked a lot on our fitness, and that slow wicket will require a lot of running in between when we are batting, and also a lot of running when we are trying to cut off the 2s and the 3s from the boundary. So as a team, we've really worked a lot on our fitness.
I'm very confident in the team. They're a very special unit. Everyone has worked so hard in their own respective departments, And most of all, I think that we gel very well as a team. Like, we have got, good chemistry going on together. So I feel like, everyone has got something that they at least bring to the table, be it with the bat, the ball, morale on the team, just like giving support. So yes, I'm very confident.
Both teams received the official send-off from Joseph Oluga, the Assistant General Secretary of the National Council of Sports, who encouraged them to maintain their focus on the ultimate goals in both tournaments.
As you go to compete, remember these 4 words. Team solidarity is what brings success. Teamwork. Don't work alone, work with the team. Discipline. And then nationalism. Speak for our country. Exhibit a very proper, befitting image of Uganda wherever you go. If you do that, the sky will be the limit.
The Cricket Cranes, the men's team, will be participating in the Cricket Africa Cup in Benoni, Johannesburg, South Africa, with their campaign scheduled to start on the 11th of December 2023. Victoria Pals, the women's team, will kick off their action on the 10th of December 2023 against Rwanda at 1 p.m. at the Entebbe Lakeside Oval. Grace Joyce Kemigisa, UBC News.
And that's all we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Chomdisha. From the team and I, have a lovely night. Bye-bye.
Look at the weather report tonight here in UBC. My name is Marlene Kenyana. Good evening and a very warm welcome. Now we continue to have rains across several places within the country. Just this evening into the night, we are seeing rains across most areas, especially within the south, within the western sector, and also parts of central this evening that had those rains. And from the look at satellite analysis, we're looking at more of the northeasterly winds that are pushing in towards a country, and those have really caused the rain belt to be widely spread across the southern sector. That explains the rains that we have over there. But also at the same time, we do have local effects that are also helping to enhance rains across several places within the country. And from this, we do anticipate that tomorrow morning we will start off with rains across most areas within the central, and also looking at the western part of the country, we're also likely to have those rains again for several places. We're looking at mostly the Midwestern, although we expect to start off with sunny intervals that will be across Kampala as well as the Rwenzori region. Across the eastern part of the country, we do expect to also start off with those rains that will be widely spread across several places, and most of those will be accompanied by thunder showers. While looking at the northern part of the country, where we're also likely to have those rains start off the day, and that will be across several places as well. As we cross over into the afternoon, we start to see more rains developing across central. We're looking at a maximum of 29 that will be for Nakasongola. Quite some warm weather over there, even though we're expecting rains. But Kampala is expected to be at a maximum of 27. Now, looking at the western part of the country as well, we're looking at more rains for Midwestern, temperatures within 27. And also for Kasese, the Rwenzori area, we do expect those rains to continue with a maximum of 29 degrees. Now, also for the northern part of the country, or rather the eastern part of the country, we're looking at more of those rains forming, and also temperatures will be within the upper 20s. Now, the northern sector, we do expect that we will have most of those rains also spreading across several places. We have maximums of 29 into 30 for several places. Now, looking at some of the cities that we have for you across the rest of the world, we are forecasting isolated showers that will be across Nairobi, and temperatures are expected to be at 26. We also do expect a sunny day across New York, but very, very cool weather. Temperatures are expected to be at 5 degrees, and also cloudy conditions are forecast for Dubai at 29 degrees. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Molin Kenyana. Have a good night.